Okay, so GT writing task 1, your task is to write a letter. And that's it. Okay? So your writing task 1 and writing task 2 make up the entirety of your writing subtest. Although writing task 1 only carries 33% of your total band score, it's still a significant chunk. We don't want your writing task 1 to be pulling the score down. Rather, we want your writing task 1 and writing task 2 to work in congruence with one another so that we can obviously hope to get a higher band score. So particularly for GT, they are looking at overall band score most of the time, unless it is specifically stated in your requirement that you have to get a score which should not fall below a particular band score, then you have to put significant effort in boosting those scores up. But in terms of writing, to give you some overview of the difference between ACAD and GT. For academic, our national band average in the entire country is 6.3. So this is somewhat impressive. But if you talk about GT, which is 6.0, because again, I hate teaching academic. Okay, I hate teaching academic lectures. I hate you guys. I don't know why. What's with academic that makes my blood boil? Because they're really difficult to teach. Like in those replays I've mentioned, which academic students are supposed to watch, they just have to watch it, and all the info is there. But they will still submit a writing task that is way different from the one I mentioned in the discussion. Like, what are you? What did you do in that 2-hour discussion? Baka ba natutunan maski isa? It's going to be a comparison between the ego of academic. It's because they have their master's degree, they think of highly of themselves. Ganito, I'm a professional, I won't listen to you. Sometimes it's all about that. But GD, they're very humble, kind individuals. Like, in comparison, when I tell them, hey, you need to write 2 sentences for your introduction, that person is, I'm not using the word just. No, not just a carpenter, just a gardener, just a meat butcher. Because without them, our society would collapse. Let me tell you that. Okay? But those people who did not have an academic background compared to academic test takers can follow simple instructions like that. That's why I love GT. GT, shout out to you guys. I love you. Okay? You can invite me to your wedding, to your graduation, to your baptism of your child. I could be the Nino, but academic, don't ever think about it. I hate you guys with all my heart. Okay? So, I just don't know what's the difference. Bakit ganun yung mga ACAD na ang hirap-hirap nilang sumunod? May master's degree naman yung iba. Diba? Ewan ko. Nahihirapan na ako. Totoo. They just can't follow simple direction, simple rules. Gusto nila ipilit yung kanila. Mga 3-4 na pagalit, tsaka pa lang sila magbabago. But GT, I hope that whatever it is that you will learn, you can use it tomorrow for your test. Good luck on your test. Alright? Right. So, sir, mga favorite mo pala, 6 lang eh. Kami 6.3. National average. Well, you have to understand where I'm getting here. Yung GT, hindi naman nila kailangan ng mataas sa band score. Bakit? Ang kailangan lang ng mga yung 4.5 eh. Hindi pa ba impressive na ang target nila 4.5? They are over-exceeding. They're over-committing at 6. Isn't that impressive already? E ACAD kayo nga, target nyo 6.5. Di kayo maabot sa 6.5 eh. Diba? Anong pataasan dito? Mas mataas sila sa inyo. Lagpas pa nga sa target eh. So third subtest. Listening, then reading, then writing. You have to build your test-taking stamina here. your mental endurance, because this isn't a short test. It will last for approximately 2.5 hours. More than 2.5 hours. 2 hours and 32 minutes to be exact. Kasi 32 minutes of listening, 1 hour for reading, 1 hour for writing. Once again, why are we recommending that you spend 20 minutes, only 20 minutes in task 1, while you have to spend 40 minutes in task 2? Well, obviously, we have to spend more time on something that requires us more time to finish. Writing task 2 requires you to finish with 250 words, whereas writing task 1 only wants you to finish with 150. So, meaning, I have to definitely spend more time in task 2 because it wants me to write more words. More words, more time. And in the actual test, please begin with task 2. Again begin with task 2. I know GT can follow that simple instruction. They are my followers. They are my devotees. When I tell them, start with task 2, you are going to be blessed for many years to come, they will do that. But academic, gagawa talaga ng paraan yan para i-violate ang instruction. Okay? So, why do we do task 2 in the test? As I've mentioned, task 2 carries 2 times. Okay? Of your overall test score in writing. So task 2 is multiplied into 2 before you add it with the raw score of task 1. So the computation is task 1 plus task 2 times 2 divided by 3. That's how your score is computed. So let's say you get an 8 in task 1. Is it not impressive? Yes. Diba? But you only managed to get 5 in task 2. 2 times 5 is 10. And that is equivalent to 18, which you then divide by 3. Your overall score is only 6. But if you flip the script, you get only 5 in task 1. That's not an impressive score. You get 8 in task 2. You multiply 8 by 2. That is going to give you 16. Plus 5, 21 divided by 3. Your band score is going to get you to band 7. A really impressive band score. That's why if you put more effort in doing task 2, if you start with task 2, you're more efficient, you're more energetic, you're still at your peak, you could probably, hopefully, get a decent score out of it. Task 1, at the end of the day, may it be academic, which is a statistical report, or GT letter writing, everything that you have to write in your task, in task 1, is there. It's just a piece of instruction. How are you going to convert it into a written form? Unlike task 2, na mas mahirap siya because you're only given, let's say, an idea, an argument, which you have to write an essay in response. And that essay should be argumentative / formal. So it can really ruin your test-taking strategy if you don't manage to effectively assess both paradigms. So, you do task 2 first, you put more importance to it, but we are not going to forget task 1. Because task 1 is still going to help us carry our score into higher bands. Gets? Okay. So, your task for GT is to write a letter. For you to do this, you need to be able to do any of the following. Ask for and provide for general factual information. Can you do that? Can you inquire? Can you provide information? If you can't do that, you're halfway through passing the test already. Expressing needs, wants, likes, or dislikes. No? Expressing opinions or complaints, making requests, suggestions, or recommendations. Those are just some of the instructions given to you. So here are some topics, general topics that will pop out on your test. Example, writing to a college accommodation officer about problems with your accommodation. Right, have you tried doing that? Have you tried writing to your college accommodation officer about problems with your accommodation? I bet you haven't, right? What about you? Have you tried writing to your new employer about time management? What about you? Have you tried writing to a local newspaper about a plan to develop a local airport? Look, what the fuck, right? Even This one, writing to a renting agency to sort out problems with the heating system of house. Even if you live in Baguio City, di ba? Even if you live up north, where temperatures can go even below zero, even below freezing point during amihan season. Hindi sila nag-heating system dyan. Kasando pa nga iba dyan eh. Di ba? Alam ng mga taga Baguio na hindi taga Baguio kasi naka-boots eh. Kami nga, naka-chinelas lang. Alright? So lahat po ng topic sa letter writing, I just want to highlight this, are all made up stories. And that's what makes this fun. We're going to write a letter that is fabricated. Diba? If you're a pathological liar, you're halfway through passing the test already. Puro kasinungalingan lang to kasi hindi mo naranasan to. In real life eh. At malabong maranasan mo in real life. That's all I'm trying to say. Especially our culture in the Philippines. Bakit ano bang kultura ng Pilipino? Hindi naman tayo nagsusulat eh. Ask yourself, when was the last time you wrote a letter to someone na hindi siya cover letter, na hindi siya resignation letter? Sige. When was the last time? High school pa, love letter pa, sir. Oh. Di ba? Hindi natin kultura. Anong kultura ng Pinoy? Sitahan. Di ba? Ano, papatayin kita nito. Ingay-ingay nyo. Balibagin ng video ko eh, di ba? May topic dito. Ang ingay-ingay ng kapitbahay, write a letter. Sa atin, hindi tayo makikipag-letter. Makikipag-baranggayan tayo. Kasi palaban tayo eh. Sa dugo natin talaga eh. Matapang tayo masyado eh. Okay, sila kasi civil. They're doing things civil. In a civil manner. Tayo barbaric. So natin, bangayan, awayan. Magbabag. Okay? Which is fun, you know? Kasi pag nasa Canada na kayo, wala nang ganun. Puro letter na boring. Pag nasa Amerika na, wala. Puro letter of attorney na lang yan. Kung meron ka nagawang kasalanan, wala nang baranggayan. No? Alright. Next, you have to understand criteria. May nadagdag ba? Okay, may dumagdag na dalawa. Si Zeistro, alright? So you have your GT, task description. It always start with a reminder how much time you have to complete the letter. And how much time is that? 20 minutes. This is followed by a narrative of the context, like write a letter to the accommodation officer. Afterwards, the main direction follows, accompanied by 3 guiding bullet points on what to write. You are then reminding of the word requirement and what's that number, 150, and special directions to follow, usually how to start a letter. And this is what a typical task description looks like. So this is the reminder, how much time you have left. This is your narrative of the context, which you have to assimilate later in the body. This is the main direction, followed by put 3 bullet points. Then the reminder of how many words you are to complete it. Special instructions, especially how to begin your letter. This is the anatomy of your task description. Everything must be included in your letter later. Because if you miss one, that's a problem. If you miss or misunderstand even a bullet point, you fail the test. So we consider responsiveness. When you say responsiveness, this is the question, where's the response? This is the instruction, where's the response? Tone, whether it's formal or informal, and structure. How did you arrange your essay? Responsiveness is the completeness. It's summarized by the task description and the number of words. Of course, if you write fewer than 150, you will be scoring an automatic 5.0 in task achievement, which you don't want, right? 5 is low, such a low score. And you will get a penalty of 1. So the first thing we must do is to submit a letter that has more than 150 words. In the past, when we used to do this through the pen and paper base exam, we have to count it manually. And people will ask me, sir, is the pronoun I Article A, and the counted as a word, of course. They are counted as a word, so you have to count it one by one. Kaya pag dulo na ng exam, katabi mo, ingay na. No? But today, with your pen and paper based test, you have this word counter already. Mapa-ACAD, mapa-GT, mapa-writing task on writing task, so you have a word counter. It should help you understand, okay, it's 146, I have to write at least mga 10 words pa para lagpasan ng slide, si 150, para healthy, like 157 words would do, no? You can do that. So, ito yung answer sheet before, where you have to write your letter. Okay? So, this is your TA, or task accomplishment, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy. When I tell you na may penalty siya, halimbawa po 149 words. 5 ka sa TA, maka-8 ka man sa ibang areas, gaano po kahirap maka-8? 3 in 7,000 chances. Dahil 3 sa 7,000 naging estudyante ko na palang ang nakakuha ng 8 sa exam. And that is roughly 0.0014 chance. Mas may chance ka pa pong tamaan ng kidlat o makagat ng pating kaysa makakuha ng 8 sa exam. Alright? Pero pagpalagay natin, nakakuha ka ng 8 sa ibang areas. Just to make a point na what if under-length siya? Kahit na overinflated pa yung other areas, under-length, penalty of 1, you add 8, 24 plus 5, 29, divided by 4, 7, minus 1, 6. 6 lang po ang highest possible score. Okay? Off-topic, memorize, and eligible. Si eligible, para lang po yan sa pen and paper based exam. So you don't have to worry much about that if you are taking the computer-based test. So why do we have 2 examiners? Examiner 1 is the original examiner. Examiner 2 will be your second examiner if you avail recheck or EOR inquiry on results. Tama. So, the most important criteria. So, ibig sabihin may mas importante pa pala sa responsiveness. Yes po, si tone. Whether the letter is formal or informal. Now, you have to ask yourself, when is the letter informal? When is the letter formal? Remember, unlike academic, na ang chances nila for static and process is 50-50% chance. Like, you may not know ano yung lalabas sa exam. Let's say, bukas may test dyan. May makasabay kang academic. Pwedeng ma-encounter nung table, nung cubicle 1, si process. Si cubicle 2, line graph. Tapos ikaw, formal writing. Tapos yung cubicle number 4, table. So, random siya. But for GT, formal appears 70% more as compared to informal, which is only 30% chance. So, mas malamang pong lumabas si formal letter. Kaya sabi ko nga sa mga GT, kung magpa-practice po kayo, magsasubmit kayo sa akin ng 3 formal sa isang informal. Nakuha po? So, when you submit your assignments to me, GT, 3 formal, isang informal. Ganon. Now, sige, pag-usapan natin. Kailan po natin na-determine when is the letter informal or formal? It is determined by the would-be recipient. O sino po yung tatanggap. Ikaw ba ang mamimili? Ang gusto ko ngayon, formal, hindi. Ang mamimili po ay isa-set po siya ng test. Would-be recipient, the recipient. Write a letter to. Kanino ka magpapadala ng sulat? The imaginary recipient. Sino siya? Okay? So, tandaan, ang FF, si family and friends. Si family and friends, lahat ng nasa loob ng bilog na yan, informal yan. Lahat ng lalabas sa family and friends, hindi mo siya personal. Wala kang personal na relasyon sa kanya. Okay? Formal siya. Let's say, you are to write a letter to the accommodation officer. Question number 1, friend mo ba siya? Hindi. Family member mo ba siya? Hindi. De formal. Ganun lang po. Okay? Okay. Question. Writing a letter to your high school classmate. Formal, informal?
Formal.
Depending on the context. If it says that writing a letter to your high school classmate, inviting him to your wedding next month, nasa informal category yun. Okay? Writing a letter to your boss. Formal. Sa atin kasi dahil binajoke-joke natin sila, feeling natin informal. Writing a letter to your neighbor. Again. This is formal. Yes, neighbor. Kasi the Filipino culture is kilala natin kapitbahay natin eh. Like sometimes dahil yung mga tito-tito mo nag-aagawan ng lupa dun sa part na yon, sila lang din ang nagtayo ng lupa dun at kilala mo sila personal. The problem is, especially in context like Western culture, ang topic dyan, write a letter to your neighbor who wrote a letter to you. So write a letter in response to your neighbor who wrote a letter to you about a noise complaint 2 days ago. Formal yun. Magkakaintindihan. Okay? Depende. But si neighbor, lalo ang context niya is stranger, formal si neighbor. Okay? Clarify ko lang siya. So, ang pinagkaiba po ni formal at ni informal pagdating sa tone is that you cannot use contractions in formal, but you can. It's fine. It's acceptable in the informal category. Clear? Okay. Keep your letter precise. Bawal magpaligoy-ligoy. Dito naman, make it more chatty. Pwedeng magpaligoy-ligoy. Diba? Kasi kakilala mo yung sulatan mo eh. So, one of the telltale sign that my student didn't listen in my GT letter writing discussion is that they will submit to me a 3-paragraph letter. Just imagine, look at the part. Let's break it down. Opening statement. Dear sir/madam. Introductory paragraph. Good day. Hi, my name is good day. I am a passenger of your bus who rode the journey from Tuguegarao to Manila last week. I wrote this letter to make a complaint about my suitcase which got damaged. Middle paragraph, bullet point 1 and bullet point 2. May S pa nga yan, no? Action paragraph, what you want the action of the recipient of the letter to undertake, and then concluding paragraph. Plus your closing statement pa. O ilang paragraph lahat yan? Nasa 5. Sasabihin nyo sa akin, opo sir, nakinig talaga ako. O, diba? So that's a telltale sign na hindi ka talaga nakinig. Kasi imagine, look at the structure the examiners are looking for, are seeking for in your letter, and yet you only provide them with fewer than what is required. So obviously, magkakaroon ka ng problem dyan sa structure. Okay. Opening statement depends on the instruction and the task description. Simple lang po, ano? Ang GT letter writing, sabihin ko na, maging yung buong GT na module, test lang po ito ng survival eh. Totoo yan. Ang chine-check lang naman ng mga examiner is, kaya bang sumunod sa simple instruction ng mga candidates? Halimbawa, nilagay ko dyan, as an examiner, begin your letter with, Dear Sir/Madam, comma. Yan. Tapos, ang sinulat mo, Dear Ma'am, Sir. Tapos colon. No? Ito po yung ginamit niya. Ito yung instruction. Ito yung kung paano mo siya sinimulan. Anong impression sa tingin mo yung mararamdaman ko as an examiner? Unang-una, ano ba yan? Simpleng instruction yung masunod. Paano ko ma-make sure na pagpunta mo dito sa Canada, mabubuhay ka? May nakalagay, bawal tumawid. Di ba? May nakalagay, intersection. Slow down, 40 kilometers per hour. Naka-indicate ton sa mga instruction. Hindi mo kayang sundin yon. Yun ang palagay nila, babagsakan nila agad. Kasi part ng trabaho nila yun to ensure the survival ng mga pupunta sa bansa na yun. Kaya po tayo may IELTS. Kaya nga general training for the general population. Their general day-to-day life. Can you survive in an English-speaking country? So kung nakalagay, sir, paano? Okay, baliktarin natin yung sitwasyon. Ito po ang instruction. Ma'am, sir, tapos dear sir / madam ginawa ko. Ito naman yung mali. Instruction will always supersede. Okay? Laging siya ang superior dyan. Kung anong binigay ng instruction, kung paano mo siya isulat, yun lang po. Sir, ganun po ba? Nakalagay kasi dear blank. Sobrang masunurin mo, dear blank din ang ginawa mo. Yeah. No? Ganyan yung mga gusto kong pinipitik sa ano ng estudyante. Okay? Isa lang po ibig sabihin yan kung bakit blank. You have to be the one to fabricate the name of the recipient. Is that clear? Okay, clear ko lang to ha, GT ha. If this is blank, you have to be the one to fabricate the name of your recipient. Now, we have differences between between formal and informal. Pag formal, okay, full name, Dear Mr. Kevin Mangolabnan, Dear Mr. Tirso Cruz III, di ba? Dear Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, example lang. Nakuha. Alright? Or last name. Dear Mr. Pangilinan, Dear Mr. Tan, nagkakaintindihan? Kapag informal, at nakalagay, Dear Blank, okay? First name basis po tayo. Pet names, tsaka mga call names. Halimbawa, susulatan mo yung nanay mo. Diba? Write a letter to your mom. Dear Blank. Dear Hermenegilda P. Manalastas. Diba? Ganyan mo ba kausapin nanay mo? Masyadong formal? Kakaintindihan po? We don't do that. Sulatan mo din nanay mo. Paano? Dear Blank. Anong papalit mo sa Blank? Dear Ma. Dear Mom. Dear Mommy. Dear Mamita. Kuha? Okay? O kapag susulatan mo yung friend mo, Dear John. Dear Tin. First name basis would do. Yun lang po ang ating opening statement. Sir, ano pong pipiliin? Colon or comma? Sir Rai, colon or comma? Comma. Pero pag nakalagay sa instruction, colon. Kuha? Alright. Wala nakalagay sa instruction, comma tayo. May nakalagay, colon tayo. May nakalagay, comma tayo. Kuha. Okay. Lagi pong susundin ang instruction. Heto na. No? Sa introductory paragraph ng formal, 2 sentence po yan. Alright? Sentence number 1 is introduce who you are without saying your name. Bakit po ba tayo hindi nag-i-indicate ng name natin sa isang formal letter? Well, the answer is obvious. Because you have later, in the letter, you will put your name, title, and signature. Yours sincerely, Kevin Mangolabnan. So, if you mention your name at the beginning, you mention your name in the middle, you mention your name in the end, it will appear silly. Diba? So, they don't want seeing repetition of informations given. So, kaya hindi po tayo nagsasabi ng pangalan. Sir, ano po kaya yun? Sira ulo po kaya ako o kayo? Paano po kayo magpapakilala ng wala pong pangalan? Tanong, kaya mo ba magpakilala ng wala kang pangalan? Yes. Especially in the letter writing context. How? Understand your character. Sino ang character na pinoportray mo sa pelikulang ito? Ano ka sa setup na to? Sa setting na to? So nakalagay, you bought a mobile phone last week. And just recently, you encounter a major flaw. Write a letter to the store asking for refund or replacement of the item. Anong character mo doon? You are a customer. O kaya ganun mo sisimulan ang iyong letter. Good day, I am a customer. Or I bought a phone from your shop last week. Diba? You can introduce yourself without saying your name. Ano pa? You are renting a house and you are encountering some problems with the heating system of the house. Ano ka doon? Sa sitwasyon na to, susulatan mo yung iyong landlord. Ano po? Anong role mo dyan? Isa kang anong tawag sa rumerenta? Nakatira sa apartment. Tenant. Or good day. Sir, hindi ko maalala yung tenant eh. I rent a house. At room 413B. Diba? Sumakay ka daw ng bus. Nasira yung suitcase mo. Ano ka dyan? I am a passenger. So, alamin mo kung anong ka dyan. Passenger, customer, nagkakaintindihan, tenant, student. Employee. What is your character? What's the character you're playing here? You have to figure out who you are without saying your name. At nandun yun sa instruction. At wag na wag pong kakalimutan yung purpose. Yan po kasi ang pinaka-importante. Actually, without the purpose, ganito yung mga examiner eh. Alam niyo, minsan naglilibot kayo sa mall, tapos may hinahanap ka na t-shirt. Plain lang na plain. Tapos nakita mo may tatak. Di ba? Parang di mo na nagagandahan. Kasi hanap mo plain lang eh. Parang ganito yan. Pag nakita nila na, uy, wala pala tong purpose. Gahanap ka ng tasa, walang hawakan. Kakaintindihan? Gahanap ka ng bumili ka ng ice cream, nasa cup, walang kutsara. Mapapad trip ka. Ganun po ang feeling nila dyan. Kasi wala kang nilagay na purpose at your introductory paragraph. At napakadali lang pong gumawa ng purpose. Lalagay mo lang, I am writing this letter because. That's it. So, dalawa po ang kailangan ko ha. Who you are without saying your name. Okay. Situation number 1. You're a transfer student to Canada. And you are having trouble with the arrangement of your housing. Because there has been some misunderstanding within the university. Kung saan ka dapat nakatira, naging malayo yung iyong location. Na ilagay ka sa 25-minute travel, ang usapan nyo lang, like 5-minute walk. No? Good day. I'm a student of Crawford University here in Alberta. Gawa-gawa lang yan. Okay? I'm writing this letter to ask for assistance regarding my accommodation. Di ba? I'm writing this letter because there has been a misunderstanding about my accommodation which I want you to change as soon as possible. Di ba? Ganun siya. Sir, paano pag informal? Anong laman ng introduction namin? Sa informal, do not introduce who you are. Bakit? Kakilala mo yung sinusulatan mo eh. Write a letter to your mom. Hingi ka kunwari ng pera, wala ka ng allowance eh. Di ba? Good day. I have been your son for 33 years now. And the reason I wrote, bugo ka ba? Buga ka ba? Berat ka ba? Di ka ganun makipag-usap sa nanay mo. Paano ba tayo makipag-usap sa nanay? Ma, pera. Totoo. Di ba? Rekta lang. Direct. Di ba? Hi ma, how are you? I hope you and dad are doing fine. I'm doing just as great. However, I'm suffering from some financial mishaps lately and I'm asking for your assistance regarding this matter. Ganun lang. I'm writing this letter because I want you to send me money. Diretso, straight to the point. Anong problema dun? Yun yung nasa instruction eh. Basta huwag kang papakilala. Kasi kakilala mo na yung sinusulatan mo. Para kasi raulo dyan, papakilala ka sa nanay mo. Diba? Sir, ano pong ipapalit namin sa introduce who you are? Kasi sabi mo, mga academic, galit ka sa kanila kasi hindi sila sumusunod sa 2 sentences. Introductory paragraph. Paano kami? Pag informal yan, paano namin gagawing 2 sentences ang introductory paragraph? Papalitan mo ngayon siya ng inquiry. Yan. Ano ba si inquiry? Nangangamusta. Ito yung favorite ko na, pwede niyong kopyahin to, GT. Sa mga nakikinig po sa ating lecture ngayon, maging sa mag-tune in sa replay mamaya, hi, kahit nga mag-exclamation mark ka dyan eh. Informal naman eh. Hi, how are you? I hope you're doing, pwede tayo mag-contractions, diba? Okay. Anyway, I wrote this letter because tapos. Pwede yung palit-palitan to kasi di ba, 5 kayong GT, tas lahat kayo naka-hi, how are you? I hope you're doing okay. O, di ba? Hello, how are things with you? I hope you're doing great. Pwede yan. Palitan mo lang ng ibang words. Okay? Middle paragraph, cover all the bullet points. If you miss to cover any one of them, you fail. Simple as that. Ilan po ang maximum score na pwede mong matanggap? 9. Tama ba? Pag may na-miss ka na bullet point, maximum score mo agad ay 5. Pag dalawang na-miss mo na bullet point, maximum score mo ay 4. At pag lahat ng bullet points, 3 or even lower. Kuha? So please, never ever forget to cover the bullet points. Action. This is where you state the action you want the recipient to do, or perhaps, if necessary, your action. So, invent. Saan po ba madalas nakikita si action? Nandun sa main direction. Write a letter to the accommodation officer. Andun siya. No? Doon mo siya makukuha. And then, si concluding paragraph, it is always polite to start by saying thank you for taking time reading your letter, say how they can get in touch with you again if necessary, needs feedback. Do not apologize if you're making a formal complaint about a failed service or incompetent service or a faulty item you purchased, or for having written the letter. Huwag po kayong magsusulat ng, I apologize for writing this letter. Bakit? Sira ulo ko pala, magsusorry ka lang din pala, di ka na lang sana nagsulat ng letter. E di, paano kung hindi magsusulat ng letter? Eh yun nga ang pinapagawa sa'yo, sumulat ng letter. So babalik ka dun. Di ba? So do not apologize. Kailan lang po kayo mag-apologize? kapag naka-instruct siya. Apologize for the imaginary scenario. Like, you are causing too much noise in your apartment. Diba? I sincerely apologize for any discomfort I may have caused during the past few weeks due to the renovations of my house. Rest assured that I will minimize the drilling noises from here on. And if you need anything, just let me know. Ganun. Asking for a reply. I look forward to hearing from you. Please do not hesitate to call me if you need more information. So, GT, tingnan to ha. Gagawa ako ng imaginary conclusion natin. Diba? Ito yung mga templates. Ang gagawin nyo lang, GT, para kayong gumagawa ng puzzle. Andito na siya lahat, pag tatagpi-tagpiin nyo na lang. Alright? So, halimbawa, tapos na po tayo sa letter. Ang letter natin, for example, sumulat ako sa isang newspaper company about this restaurant I tried. No? Gusto ko bigyan nila to ng review sa lifestyle section nila sa kanilang newspaper. So, ito ang sample concluding paragraph. Thank you so much for taking time reading my letter. And I hope to see the article about the restaurant on your next publication. Should you need more information, please do not hesitate to reply to my email, to my letter, or any of my contact info. Here is my office number, 044-486-3525, imaginary yan. So your staff can make direct inquiries faster. More power to your company. Ilang words yan? Perhaps nasa 40 plus. Ilan lang kailangan sa letter? 150. Good day. I am a blank. I wrote this letter because. Ilan na yan? That's 11 plus 40 plus. You already have a third of your content generated. Dear sir / madam, yours sincerely, your name, two names. You have another 7 added. God, napakadaling punuin ang GT letter. Diba? Sir, paano naman po pag informal? O halimbawa, ini-invite mo yung high school classmate mo sa kasal mo. Diba? Thank you so much. Andun pa rin yan. For taking time, reading my letter. And I hope that I get to see you on my wedding. Let me know if you already arrived so that I can even make arrangements to meet you before the wedding itself. Take care and see you soon. Ganun lang. Okay? Mga nasa 30 plus na yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 40 pa pala, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 48. Binasic lang. Closing statement, ikaw na bahala. Sir, hindi ko na po matandaan kung yours faithfully po ba ang dapat kong gamitin or yours sincerely po ba or kahit sincerely nga lang. Walang problema kahit mapaghalo-halo mo yan. No? Kapag naman informal, ang ginagamit ko madalas is si love kapag family members. Pag friends, best wishes, comma, Kevin. Yeah. Kakalimutan si comma. Sincerely. Naku po, tinan niyo yung spelling, ang dami nagkakamali dyan. GT, yun lang naman kadalasang mistake nyo eh. Spelling ng customer. Iba, ganyan yung spelling. Diba? Mag-iba po si customer sa costumer. Si costumer ay gumagawa ng costume. Okay? Sincerely ha, nakakalimutan yung E. So, spell out mo siya. Sir, pwede bang truly na lang? Pwede. Kakalimutan yung comma, sinasabi ko sa inyo. Kapag formal, yours sincerely, Kevin Mangalabnan, sa ilalim, student, pwede. May title. Pero sa informal, walang title. Pwedeng nickname lang, like, best wishes, comma, Kevin. Bawal buuin yung pangalan dun, ha? Okay. Alright, so here's one sample that I would like to read to you guys. You live in a room in college, which you share with another student. However, there are many problems with this arrangement and you found it very difficult to work. So, alamin natin ano yung sitwasyon. Meron ka daw ka-share na room. At nahihirapan ka daw doon sa arrangement na yon, mahirap kasama to sa room. So, ibig sabihin, kwento mo to, dapat ikaw ang bida dito. Siya ang maingay, siya magulo, siya mahirap pakisamahan. So, describe mo yung situation. Explain mo bakit mahirap siyang kasama sa house. And say what kind of accommodation you would prefer. Bingo! Ito po yung action paragraph mo. At ito din yung second sentence mo sa introduction. Bakit ka nagsulat ng letter? Sabihin mo dyan, I wrote this letter because I would like you to change my accommodation. Be direct to the point. Okay? So, isip ka, bakit kaya ang isang roommate ay mahirap pakisamahan? Pwedeng hindi siya nagliligpit because of the kalat, nadapa ka one time, no? Iniipis na kayo, ayan. Ano pa? Nagyoyosi siya sa loob ng room. Fire hazard yun, so kinakabahan ka, baka magkaroon kayo ng fire in the future. What else? Ini-invite niya yung mga classmates niya para magsugal sila doon, nagiinuman sila. Ikaw, masipag ka mag-aaral. Sabi mo, naapektuhan na po yung pag-aaral dahil napupuyat ka sa kanilang mga pagsusugal. Lagay mo doon. So, tingnan natin. Dear Sir / Madam or Madam, I currently reside in a college halls of residence and I'm writing to request a change of accommodation. At the moment, I share the room with Mia Khalifa. Although she and I really get on well as people, we have very different studying habits. She works best at night and often studies until 3 or 4 a.m. Of course, she has the lights on and eats, both of which disturb my sleep. I, on the other hand, prefer to wake up on the break of dawn and study before going to college. After 2 weeks of this arrangement, I find that I'm constantly tired as a result of not being able to sleep well, and this in turn is adversely affecting my studies. So, ito na po yung ating action paragraph. I feel that I would only be able to study well if I have a single room and do not have to share. Given these extenuating circumstances, I would be grateful if you could arrange this for me. Tapos yung ating concluding paragraph, thank you for taking time reading my letter. I apologize for any inconvenience that this will cause you. And I look forward to hearing from you soon with some good news. Should you need to get in touch, I will be more than glad to receive a call from you. You can reach me at 0927-886-7745. Yours faithfully, Lexilor Student. Ito naman, write a letter to your friend who also happens to live in that country. So, anong kind of letter ang isusulat natin dito? Formal, informal? Informal. Magpapakilala, hindi. Bawal. Okay. Pwede contractions? Mga can't, won't? Sure. Okay. You do not need to write any addresses. Begin your letter as follows. Dear blank. So, ikaw po magpa-fabricate ng name ni friend. In this case, si Brian. I just arrived here in Shanghai 3 days ago, and I have to say I did not expect it to be so cold here. This makes me miss the tropical heat in the Philippines so much. It is a good thing that I always have a piece of the Philippines here, since I have friends like you living here as well. I wrote this letter to invite you a simple get-together a week or two from now. If I'm not mistaken, you told me that you live in the downtown area of the city, although I think you were slightly exaggerating when you talked about how noisy it is there. I consider the slight probability that you might be telling the truth. I followed your advice and decided to rent a flat in the outskirts of the city because my work is close to the area. The place is a bit shabby, but it has its charms. The neighbors are friendly, and my house is close to the roads, to the shops, and to my work. Honestly, the only flaw I can think of is that the place gets eerily quiet at times. I miss the Rucos we used to make together in our office back in Moraita. To somehow make my new pad more reminiscent of what once was, I am commanding you as a friend to drop by here soon. I will cook your favorite rice dish in insane quantities if you promise to visit me. Thank you in advance for saying yes, my very good friend, Love, Richard. And parang may something kay Richard at kay Brian. So, mga GT, napakadami ko pong sample dito. Siguro may 15 dito sa PDF po na to. So, after this is done, na-uploaded na sa YouTube, gusto ko pakibasa po ito ng paulit-ulit, ha? Para lang po makuha nyo kung paano isulat yung mga letters na ginawa ko before. So ito, isipan lang muna natin, ha? Kasi, dito sa part na to, ang daming nagkaroon ng mistake sa understanding nung instruction niya. You had a good meal in a local restaurant with your family. Ang sinulat nila na letter is nagpapasalamat sila sa restaurant. Look at the main instruction. Look at the recipient even. Write a letter to the newspaper. You're not supposed to write a letter to the restaurant. You're supposed to write a letter to the newspaper. Diba? So kaya po, ang daming nagkamali dito sa sample po na ito. Describe a meal you had. Anong kinain mo? So yun ang problem dito. Kasi yung mga dinescribe na meal, yung mga huling gumawa po ng letter na to, kare-kare, sinigang, binagoongan, anong mali doon? Mga Filipino food po yun And they are in Filipino. Ano bang exam to? IELTS, English. So you have to translate those dishes into English. O ano ba ang English ng kare-kare? Ox tripe in peanut sauce. May bago with sauteed shrimp paste. O dinuguan. Ano ang English ng dinuguan? Pork and blood stew. May naglagay pa nga dyan, sitting chicken. Ano ba yon? Pinaupong manok daw. Ano ba kako yan? Meron pa, exploding fish. Pinaputok na tilapia daw. Diba? So, it's crazy. Think about it. Lagay nyo na lang na kinain nyo, buttered chicken, spaghetti, madaling English di ba? Okay. And why you think the restaurant is worth visiting? Anong meron sa restaurant na yon? Bukod sa masarap ang kanilang food, lagay mo, this restaurant is really worth visiting because not only they serve one of the tastiest Filipino dishes I've had, but the crew and staff are very welcoming and friendly. They even gave my grandmother a complimentary cake for free. And they sang her a very loud and upbeat happy birthday song, which we all enjoyed. Sarap, di ba? Pero hindi naman nangyari yun. Imaginary lang lahat. Di ba? Kaya masarap gumawa ng letter You eat at your college cafeteria every lunchtime. However, you think it needs some improvements. Write a letter to the college magazine. In your letter, explain what you like about the cafeteria. So yung letter po na to, it's about what you think can be improved or should be improved in the cafeteria. But look at the bullet point. The first bullet point says, explain what you like about the cafeteria. Kailangan mo magbigay ka ng positive comment about it. Yes, ano bang sa tingin mo ang positibo sa isang school cafeteria? Lahat naman tayo nag-high school. Diba? O sige, high school student tayo, kunwari. Okay. Bakit ka kakain sa cafeteria kung isa kang high school student? Malinis. Number one, ano pa? Mabait? Pwede? Pero malapit, di ba? Bababa ka lang doon, ayun eh. Hindi mo na kailangan lumabas ng school, pagkainit-init, papayong ka pa, mag-i-e-bike ka pa, pagpapawisan ka pa, o order ka pa, ang tagal ng order, lunch break yun, ang daming kumakain sa labas, tapos babalik ka, ubos yung break mo. Pag cafeteria, 10 to 15 minutes, tapos pwede ka pa magpahinga afterward. So yun ang pwede kong ilagay. Ngayon, what is wrong with the cafeteria? O kayo, mga nurses, o, anong mali sa cafeteria? Makalawang, sir, yung chair. Eh, naka-white ako pag umupo ako doon. Kakapit yung kalawang, number 1. Ano pa? Pagpasok ko sa cafeteria, kung paksiw ang ulam doon, paglabas ko, umuyo akong paksiw. Dahil wala silang exhaust fan. Tama ba? So, yun. So, suggest natin how it can be improved. Siyempre, kailangan mag-budget. So, pwede mo rin i-suggest na yung labor, pwede nating ipagawa sa mga NSTP students, pipinturahan lang naman yun. Yung paint at saka yung exhaust installation, pwede natin tayo makakalap ng budget from the upcoming school fest. Naglagay tayo ng mga cooking festival at saka mga fun run. Tapos yung budget na malilikom natin ay pwedeng gamitin sa pampagawa ng cafeteria. Di ba? Ganun. Ito, your neighbors have recently written to you about the noise from your house or flat. Explain the reasons for the noise, apologize, describe what action you will take. Ito, you want to sell your TV. Kasi pati po ito nagiging topic. Magbebenta ka ng TV sa kaibigan mo. Ha? Diba? O, basahin natin. Dear Gary, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing fine, though my life is quite hectic at the moment because I'm moving abroad and there's so much to do. I wrote this letter because I would like to sell something to you. There are a few things that I can take with me because they are too big. So I'm seeing if any of my friends would be interested in buying them. Alam naman, dalhin mo pa yung 65-inch TV mo papuntang Canada. Benta mo lang dito, yung mapagbebentahan, yung gamitin mo pambili. One of the things I don't want it to take with me is my TV, and I thought you might like to buy it off me for a cheap price. It's a 32-inch flat screen TV and it's a Philips model. It has a USB port, so just plug in a thumb drive to watch movies or listen to music. It has a great stereo surround sound. As you know, I'm leaving the country at the end of the month, which is only 2 weeks away. So if you want to see it, it would be best to come on the 20th or 21st. That will give me time to sell it elsewhere if you're not interested. Okay, I look forward to seeing you. Let me know if you can't make it. Best wishes, John. Number of words, 203. 2017 ko ata ito ginawa. Kaya, flat screen pa lang na may USB port. Wala pa yung with Netflix and Google Play, Apple Play capability. HDMI, ganito. Wala pang ganun. Ito naman, nag-complain kayo sa isang restaurant. So, basahin, sir, ha? Okay? Asan pa yung mga participants natin? Si Abigail at si Zaisro, ayan po, babasahin nyo yan para makuha nyo yung mga ways kung paano siya buuin. Ito pa, ang dami. Tingnan nyo, write a letter to Mr. Cotto. Oh, dahil, Dear Mr. Cotto, ang instruction sa akin, tingnan nyo yung letter ko. Dear Mr. Cotto, I'm a new member of our gym. Tingnan nyo ha, tingnan nyo yung bullet point. Nag-move ka sa bagong neighborhood. Nag-join ka sa gym. Tapos, dun sa gym na to, hindi sila nagwa-wipe ng machine pagkatapos silang gamitin. Tapos, iniiwan nila yung mga maduduming towel nila sa bench. So, explain who you are. Sino ka ba? Bakit nagko-complain ka? Kakabago-bago mo pa lang. Describe the problem exactly. Ayun nga, nag-iiwan sila ng towel kung saan-saan. Tapos, hindi sila nagwa-wipe ng machine. Tapos, suggestion. Paano i-improve yung gym? Basahin ko to sa inyo. Dear Mr. Cotto, I'm a new member of your gym, and I'm quite liking the setup you got here. However, I noticed some problems. That is why I wrote this letter to you to raise these concerns and offer my suggestion as well. I have been a member of many different gyms in the past, and I honestly consider your establishment to be one of the best. Despite this, there are many concerns about the gym use in general that could potentially lead to accidents. You see, not all the members follow the simple gym etiquette. I noticed that they do not wipe the equipment after they use them. In addition, they leave their towels in the locker room which I stepped on that made me hurt my knees when I fell. Nadulas na ako tapos sumakit yung tuhod ko dahil doon. Nevertheless, the minor problems by the members Not following the simple instructions can be resolved if the gym instructors will just enforce the rules. I also recommend briefing the new members well and to reorient the current users about the regulations to keep the gym and its equipment clean and safe. Thank you for your time reading my letter. I hope to see some changes in your gym. Yours sincerely, Kevin. Maulabnan. Ito, na-aksidente ka sa isang supermarket at magrereklamo ka. Sino ka? So, you are a customer. Give details about the accident. Paano ka nadulas? Bakit ka nadulas? Tanga-tanga ka, no? Suggest how the supermarket could prevent similar accidents. Good day, I'm a regular customer of your supermarket, and recently I got involved in a minor accident inside a store. I'm writing this letter to make a complaint about the situation and hope to give some suggestions to prevent this from happening again in the future. I constantly go to your supermarket because it's not very far from where I live. You have aisles designated for persons with disabilities like me. However, last week a lady experienced a problem in her push cart, which bumped into mine. Nawalan siya ng control. Because the incident occurred in the wet section, I fell hard on the floor and suffered minor concussions. Luckily, the hospital cleared me for any further damages and just advised me to take some rest. I'm suggesting that you check your push carts regularly if any of the wheels are still functioning to prevent similar accidents like mine. In addition, I would also like you to have signages for wet floors so that people will be more careful in such areas, especially in wet section in the supermarket. Please advise your customers not to overload their grocery cart so that it will be easier to control. Thank you so much for taking time, blah, blah, blah. Ito naman, your friend recently moved to the same town you live. Please write a letter to invite your friend to go to the gym together. So, ini-invite mo siya na mag-gym kayo. Describe why you go to this gym. Say what part of the gym is what you recommend and explain why you think it's suitable for your friend. So, ito yan. Dear Vina, how are you? Learned from Jerome that you just moved here in Santa Cruz last week. I'm really excited to be with you again and wrote this letter to invite you to my gym as our way of bonding on a regular basis. I'm 2 blocks away from Jim's Gym. Hindi naisip kong pangalan eh. And the equipment they have here are top-notch. I started working out 3 months ago and I already lost 12 kilograms. I've never felt so good looking at myself in the mirror after my regular training in the gym. The best part of the gym is definitely the cycling area. The spinning class they have is so fun because there's a leader who really pushes the members to do their best. I know that you would enjoy this. I know that you're not allowed to lift heavy weights due to your spine problems, but the spinning class in my gym is well suited for you since it burns the most calories in a short amount of time. You wanted to lose some weight before your cousin's wedding, right? Well, this is the best place to burn some. Okay, I hope to see you next week at the gym. You can send me an email so that I can forward the gym membership application form to you. Let's melt some fat together soon. So look at that. Best wishes, Kel. 7 minutes ko lang 29. Ito sa hotel, papalitan mo yung booking ng date and detail. Papapalit ka. Ito naman yung ginawa ko na yon. 2021, 2022 to, may COVID pa. So yun po yung naging reason ko kung bakit ako magpapapalit. Ito naman, nagkaroon ako ng problema sa kinain kong food sa plane. Explain the problem with the food and what the airline should do about it. Tinan yung ginawa ko. Because your airline was at fault here, I would like to demand compensation for my hospital bills and unpaid hours due to not being at work. I would also like to recommend checking your ingredients constantly to avoid something like this from occurring again in the future. 7 minutes ko rin po siyang ginawa. Ito 6 minutes, ito yung pinakamabilis ko sa lahat. 6 minutes din to, 207 words. Basahin ha, mga GT, ang dami po. Oh, dear Mr. Gazili. Oh. Ito po yung nagka-problema sa location. Dapat malapit lang, pero 30 kilometers pala yung layo ko. Gaano ba kalayo ang 30 kilometers? Balikan ng Gapan to Cabanatuan. Okay? So that's about an hour and a half travel. Usapan 5 minutes lang. Nalakad, ando na ako. So mga GT, ito po ang inyong assignment. Abigail and Zeiss wrote, you and your friends ate a meal at a restaurant to celebrate a special occasion. You were very pleased with the food and service. So, ang susulatan mo dito, restaurant na. Okay? Give details to your visit. Kailan ka nagpunta? Sino mga kasama nyo? Explain the reason for the celebration. Ano ang sinelebrate nyo? Say what you like about the food or service. O syempre, magsasabi ka anong food yun na nagustuhan mo. Yun lang. Okay? So, GT, if you can take a screenshot. We're about done. Magta-type lang ako ng isang letter. Hanap ako na medyo mahirap. GT, letter. Mag-informal naman tayo. Nilagawa ko before, you recently received a letter from a friend asking for advice about whether to go to college or try to get a job. You think he should get a job. Nagawa ko na to before. Dito tayo sa, you stayed with your friend. And by mistake, carried home one of his object. Write a letter and explain. Mga nasa Zoom at saka nasa replay, wait lang bago ko to i-share. Type ko lang muna yung question. No? How you enjoyed staying with your friend. Explain the object which you brought with you. By mistake. And how it happened. Mention how you plan to return. Daming pwede. Shades, jacket. So, dear, itong oras na. 10:49. Dear Willie, how are you? I am doing great now that my wife and I finally moved to a new house. Diba? Kwentuhan lang, dagdag. I hope you and your wife are doing great. Just great as well. Anyway, the reason I wrote this letter because I accidentally brought your PlayStation laki, no? 5 DualSense. Yung controller lang. Controller. So, first bullet point natin, how you enjoyed staying. Last month was really a blast when our high school friends group got together in your house and played all our favorite PlayStation games. I really hope we can do it again soon. As our way of regular bonding activity. By the time I left your house, after arriving home, I did not unpack my things yet, and I only found out that I brought your controller by mistake after 2 days. Second bullet point natin, explain the object and explain how it happened. The reason I figured out it wasn't mine was because of the drift stick. I had mine replaced and yours had this engraving. I might have swapped our controllers the day before we left your house. My brother will visit your city next month. If we do not have any arranged activities with the boys by that time, I will have him come over to your house to have our controllers swapped. Thank you so much for taking time reading my letter, and I apologize for the inconvenience that of this controller swap. I hope that you don't any grudges with me about this at all. See you soon. And take care. Always. And always take good care lang. And always Take good care. Best wishes. Kevin. Time, 49:56. 7 minutes kung tinype. Ilang words? 2:30 in 7 minutes. So, ganun po ang paggawa ng letter. Mga GT Pips, Abigail, Zaisro, and Rai, thank you so much for remaining till the end of my discussion. After this is uploaded, nandoon din po yung handout. Basahin. Okay? That's it. GT letter is so fun. The most fun lecture ever. So, questions? Wala? Okay. Yun lang. Have a nice day. God bless and good luck. Bye.